Great. Hello, welcome. Thank you all for joining us here at Earth and Sky. Those of you joining us online, we really appreciate you being part of our family. It really feels like everyone is part of our family with this. It's been kind of an amazing journey. Your family in many, many ways. But it's been an amazing journey, really, having this with Earth and Sky, and we really appreciate everybody who likes and shares our videos.
Yep.
We love when people make suggestions of what they'd like to hear for topics.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we can get them out right away. Sometimes we chew on it for a little while and then get them out. But
we need to really, grasp
take some time to think about it. And we were talking last week, asking people what your passion is. So we're going to be doing something here later on. So we'd like to ask you to comment again below this video. What is your passion? What are you passionate about? And we're going to skip right on into what our actual topic is today. We are talking about confidence. This is part 2 of our confidence series. Last week we were talking about confidence, and it's something that is lacking in so many people, I think, around the world. This is just a problem that...
It's a human condition problem.
It really is. When you look at animals, more often they have a lot more confidence. So they kind of, as a general, not always, they tend to kind of know who they are. And if they don't, then you kind of want to help work with it. I've been bringing things back to cats a lot lately.
Cool.
But with cats, there's a lot of techniques we'll do to help if the cat is a little shy. One of the easiest techniques is we literally physically just lift the chin and kind of help walk them forward while you're lifting their chin up. And that subtle action, that physicality triggers things within the brain, and it literally starts to boost their confidence. It's a very easy thing. There are simple and easy ways to do things,
and you always can tell
and
when,
challenging.
like in high school, when you're walking like this.
Right, holding your books and
looking down.
Shy,
Please,
lack of confidence.
Don't look at me, man.
And then you get the kids that are, head high, sometimes maybe too high.
There's a couple
There's
of them.
a balance.
Pop that.
There's a great balance in the middle, and that's what we really want to encourage all of you to have, to know who you uniquely are and how special you are as a unique individual. You have amazing traits within you that nobody else has, and figuring out what those are. So last week in our video we talked about 3 steps and the 3 important things to know about building confidence. The first step of that was learning to like yourself. The next one was having reasonable expectations. And the third one is what you focus on is what increases around you. If you start focusing on the positives and you recognize when you do something that is good and you focus on that, you bring that out, then that's going to continue. That's going to magnify. You'll start seeing your worth. You'll start seeing your value and feeling it.
And the world will too.
And so will the world. The world is going to respond to you the way you feel about yourself. If you are really down on yourself, you don't feel good about yourself, the world's going to seem sometimes like it's picking on you.
And it's coming down
or
on
it's
you.
Coming down around your shoulders, exactly. But when you feel that confidence, when you know that you are unique, and that's a good thing.
That's a very good
You're
thing.
not supposed to be like everybody else, but let your unique things really shine as who you are.
Stand out.
That helps. So we wanted to really talk today specifically about liking yourself. So, because it's one thing to say it, you should like yourself. Well, how do you do that? That can be, oh, that sounds great. And then what?
Where do I start with that?
So we wanted to really delve in a lot deeper with that. I'm going to let you take over here.
So we were talking about, one of the big things was being able to look yourself in the mirror. And I was surprised actually when I had learned that people going to the mirror and saying, I love you, looking in the mirror, I love you, to say that people really have an issue with that. And so I was like trying to figure out, how would someone get there? How would you get to that point? And so it's funny because as a concept, let's start with the idea of just programming. So we're all just like little computers basically. I mean, we create habits, we build on those habits, and those habits become larger habits, and they just build and grow. So like as a concept, like let's say for a child. So a child stands up for its first time and it wants to get over there. And if it wants to get over there, it's got to walk. So it starts twitching and moving and stuff, and eventually those little motions turn into, like, you learn how to pull your foot just in front of you. Now that's just a layer. And then you learn to do more and you move and you adjust your weight, and eventually you fall, but you get back up and you move that foot, and you move the foot, and then you adjust your weight, and then you learn to do it with the other foot. And then it's all of these little baby steps, ironically, that you keep building on those. And as you build on those, all of a sudden, it becomes walking. And now we think of walking as just a thing. It's a single thing, but there's all of these things that go into that. Same thing with liking yourself. It seems like a simple concept. Like yourself. It's one idea, liking self. But it's all of these programs that we've done, that we've learned. And so one of the ones that I thought of that I think most people don't grasp is, okay, you get up in the morning, you're getting ready. Do your things, get ready. You glance in the mirror that last time. What are you looking for? Look at your hair. What are you looking for? Is something wrong? You're looking for flaws. You do your makeup. You look at your face one last time. What are you looking for? You're looking for flaws.
Well, what's wrong? What am I missing?
Yeah.
Where did I make a wrong stroke with
Every
my makeup?
time you glance in the mirror, the thought in the back of your mind is there anything wrong? You're looking for flaws. And I really think that there's a core there, that every time you look in the mirror, and now this is the physical aspects that say, what do I look like? How am I looking? We're not looking about what we actually look like. We're looking for flaws. And I really think that's one of the first things you have to really start to like back up and go, okay, when I look in the mirror, am I looking at myself or am I looking for flaws? So now if you take, now let's back up and let's say, okay, so you go to the mirror, I'm just going to look. I'm just going to see what I got. Now, everybody, you are going to find things that you don't like about yourself. It's that simple. So you look, but is it really horrible, I think is, and for my sake, at least the way I look at it, is it really bad? Is there any single thing that's bad? Now, like for me, if I take all of my bits and pieces, I have, my ears are too big, my nose is too big, my eyes, they're kind of sunk back in my head a little bit. I got these little things that hang over the front of my eyes like shutters. Who would put shutters in front of eyes? That's crazy, right? That's nuts. I got all these things, but I'm happy with this because it works. It's me. Without any one of those things, it's not me anymore. And I'm like, none of them are horrible.
Right.
And even if it was, it'd still be me. I'd be okay with that. And so that's those things that you have to be able to come back. Will you find things you don't like about yourself physically? Yes. But it doesn't matter. If there's a single thing that you just can't live with, figure a way, you go, okay, I got one thing out of this whole person that I just can't seem to really get over. But who cares? That's one thing out of so many that make somebody, who they are.
And sometimes it can start with focusing on the things that you really do love when you're looking in the mirror, instead of seeing the things that maybe stand out that you don't feel like match or that you don't feel like are you. But like with your hair, I know your hair is one of the things
I like my hair.
Exactly. So if that becomes the first thing when you look in the mirror, you go, wow, my hair looks good today.
I like my hair. That's a part of me I really like. But
And sometimes it might feel really foreign. It might feel odd to give yourself a compliment.
Those compliments, right.
But really,
that's what we're shooting for.
Take it even to the extreme and just, just you in the mirror there. Wow, I look really good, or this part of me looks fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let yourself shine, let yourself take in the compliment too.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that is funny for people is what we use as, whether it's good or bad, is the comparison, which is an unfortunate thing because comparing against somebody else isn't fair. It just isn't. What you have and what somebody else has, they are
Totally different.
Completely different, and there's no reason to compare them, but that's kind of what we do. So if you want to take that, so many people think they're comparing against the best of, right? I mean, and so if we kind of put a spin on that, the people that we always think are the best, right? We kind of usually as the bar is movie stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much movie stars. Yeah, they're the
A lot of people
top.
kind of almost put them in a godlike
Right.
thing.
Now,
Supermodels and movie stars.
Now, I don't know.
Everyone loves them. How can I be loved?
How can I be just like them, right? I just want to be that amazing. And the thing is that, but if the people that are the biggest ones usually have some of the biggest physical flaws or noticeable
Something
flaws.
that stands out.
Yeah.
That makes them unique.
So you got, oh God, I just drew a blank. There's De Niro with the gruff and the fake, you know, he's got the Mars. And then you've got, there's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, have you ever noticed? His two teeth, the big front two teeth, they're supposed to be like this, right? I mean, most people, his are, one of his big teeth is right down the center of his face. It's the weirdest thing if you really pay attention to it. There are all of these people that there's, I'm trying to think of what his name is, that does the, where he's like, let's check every, you know, outhouse, doghouse. What's his name?
I'm not good with
Movie
celebrities.
people. Oh, you guys are killing me. I know everybody who watches this knows it. Anyway, he's got these huge bags now. He always had a rough face, but now he's got these bags under his eyes.
But it's part of the look.
But
It
it's
becomes part of
huge flaws. But these flaws, we go,
people
they're
say
okay.
flaws.
Yeah, they're okay because the people are okay with them. And I mean, that's the point.
Confidence.
The
They
point
have
is,
the
yeah, you can
confidence.
own it.
And
And
then
it
the
can
look
be,
pulls off.
yep, exactly, and
Yes.
it makes them special. It literally makes them special. They have this major flaw and it makes them special, and that's true for everybody.
Right, and flaw is really more a word for uniqueness, is what
It
you're
is,
saying.
that's exactly
Something
right.
that's different from what the stereotypical ratio that somebody thinks we should have.
Exactly,
And
yes.
so it's really switching that vocabulary within yourself too, because you don't have flaws.
No,
There aren't
they're
physical
just
flaws, they're
different
character
than-
traits. It's part of who you are.
Yep.
When you get scars, that tells your life story. When you
Yes.
get gray hairs, it talks about the wisdom that you've gained over the years.
Yep, yep.
It's how you look, how you see yourself.
Well,
And-
and so that is that's the point that we're talking about. So when you go to the mirror, and we think we're visual people. We think what you look in the mirror, it's these physical traits that we really think is what we're gauging. If I don't like that person in the mirror, most people go, well, yeah, it'd have to be something physical, right? It's like 10% of what we actually see. We
Right.
don't grasp. The other 90% is all of the emotional stuff that we
Exactly.
carry with ourselves.
Absolutely.
When we look in the mirror, that's what we see.
Absolutely.
We don't see the nose, we don't see the eyes and the hair, we don't see any of that. We see what we think of
How we
ourselves
feel.
in our emotional state. And all of that is what you really need to go, wait a minute, if I'm not liking what I see in the mirror, it has nothing to do with what I look like.
Right, that's what you radiate out to the world too. That's what people pick up on
Yep.
when they're around you. That's what you pick up on when you're around other people
People.
too. That's where some people get so addicted to physical, to plastic surgery.
Yeah.
One after another after
Because
another.
they
They'll
think
do
it,
8 or 10.
they think it's physical,
And they're trying to get this specific look. And
what they're looking for
And
is,
they're beautiful, they
Well,
look fantastic,
and they're trying
but
to
they
fix
don't
an
feel
emotion,
it.
and they're
They
trying to
don't feel
fix
it.
an emotional issue.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
it's how you see yourself. Who do you think you are? Where's your power within you? What influence do you have in the world? This comes back to what is your passion. When you know what you're passionate about, you can really start living a life with purpose within yourself. And when you engage that purpose, you're starting to like yourself as well.
Right, but that's where, so if you go in the mirror and you look in the mirror, and you have trouble saying, I love you,
Mhm.
it has very little to do with what you're seeing in the mirror physically, and it goes much deeper. It is,
Yes.
so that's where you have to back up and go, okay, if I'm okay with what I look like physically, how do I approach what I'm dealing with emotionally? And so a lot of that, like anybody that's ever, have you ever sat in a restaurant and had somebody walk by you and all you can see is their back? And as they walk by you, you know what that person is about. You know you would find them attractive, you know you would like them, you know you would want to get to know them just by the way they walk by you. And that's that
The
whole
presence they carry.
That's exactly right. It is all about the body language. And so when you look at the mirror, the more you can start to position yourself, and how you present yourself to the world tells how you are inside.
Yeah, and taking some power stances when you're in the mirror too can really help.
Absolutely.
Trying different postures as you look at yourself. Have your hands on your hips. Keep your chin up high. Keep your chest
Like
out.
the kitties.
See, exactly. Treating yourself where you're lifting yourself
Yeah.
up and out of that self-doubt, up and into self-confidence. You have so much more power within you that is just waiting to be realized by having the confidence,
Yeah.
letting that shine and radiate. Practice walking into the room and feeling like you own the room. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who's in there. Let that confidence shine. And sometimes you have to kind of fake it while you might be feeling
Yeah.
nervous,
Sometimes.
but make yourself go through it, and you're going to find that it's easier and easier to do it
Yeah.
the more you practice with it.
Absolutely.
And then that love starts to come out within the self because you're carrying yourself in a way that radiates that confidence,
Yeah.
that shows that you know that you matter. One of the things I often talk about when we're starting Reiki classes, we do kind of an energy clearing and a dance and everything that goes with it, which can make a lot of people nervous at first. But when you start to take up the space around you, you're starting to bring your confidence up. There's
Oh,
all
man.
these little ways that can just trick your brain until you start feeling that
Yeah.
confidence, radiating it, knowing you own it. Within yoga, if you do yoga, if you're doing postures that really take the space up around you, you have
yeah.
your legs in the air, opening them different ways, or spreading your arms out and just own the whole room around you,
Yeah.
that's going to help you feel that you know that you have a place here on this planet, in this body, for
Yeah.
a reason, at this time in life.
Yeah.
It's really learning to have that presence within yourself, almost like knowing you have a stage presence within yourself.
Right.
You want to
Knowing that you're important enough to be here.
Exactly, yes. No more hiding in the corner, no more waiting for somebody else
Right.
to tell you that you're good or that
Yeah.
you're beautiful, knowing that you have it within yourself, looking yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, and saying, I love you to yourself.
Yeah.
I love everything about you. Feeling it, knowing it, and just you'll start to feel a glow really coming out within yourself
Absolutely.
as you're doing it too.
Yeah.
And
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop you. I was just gonna say, so what was that? I forgot what the next step is that we're talking about next time.
Oh, well, we'll get to
Yeah,
that in just
sorry,
a second. But, so big one with this one is liking yourself in the mirror. Really looking at who you see when you're in the mirror, and whatever it is that you're seeing, learning to love it.
Yep.
Knowing that we change as we age. There's all kinds of things that happen. We all get older, it's part of life, and learning to get excited about those changes. I know this morning, or this afternoon, I found that I have a new gray hair, and I was so excited about it.
You're so
But
excited about your grades.
I am. I
Yeah,
have 4 of
for
them
real.
now, and it's so cool. 3 of them came up in 2013,
Yeah.
and I have a
That
4th
was my
now.
fault.
There were a few times that I was like, oh, I think I got another one, and then I realized, no, that's the one from 2013.
No, still, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I got
it's
a-
all in how you look
I
at
got a
it.
couple I've noticed.
You do,
Yeah, I do.
and I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and if you have scars, the scars are what tell you what your story is
Yeah.
in life
They
too.
say when I die, I don't want to be pretty. I
You-
want
I
to
wanna
look
live a
like
life that was
I want to look
lived.
like I was rode hard, man. I want to say somebody went, he worked that life. He did that thing. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I used to do hand modeling, and so when I first started to get some scars from cats that, with cat rescue, the first couple times I was like, oh, what if I want to do that still? And it's like, hey, awesome, I
Yeah,
can,
cat
I know who
scratches.
that cat
Yeah,
was, I know who
remember.
did that, you know, it's part of you.
I saved a life there. I saved a life there.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
There was a commercial that I saw this morning too that was a really fantastic commercial. It had 3 women, I don't know what the product was, but it was showing them learning to love their bodies, loving the uniqueness that is within them. One of them had a scar going down her arm, and she was saying that this is just, you know, it represents who she is. Another one had a scar where she'd had a C-section and she was wearing a bikini, saying, this is my celebration scar. This was a celebration of my child being born.
Absolutely.
How amazing.
Absolutely.
The third woman had all of these very dark spots that were in various sizes over her body, and you can see her kind of caressing it, washing the water down, and then you see it pan up to her face and she's just glowing and smiling, saying, I'm very unique compared to what a lot of other people see, but this is me. This is who I am. You know it's me because this is the skin that I'm in.
Yeah.
And so having that comfort of knowing that all of the things that happen in the physical side of you are part of what makes you who you are. Absolutely. Too. And learning to really see far deeper when you look into the mirror, because it is so much more than just that surface level. And knowing that what you see is really representative of what's going on in these deeper layers within yourself. Yeah. Look in the mirror this week. Spend, let's say 3 minutes. Let's make this a while. Look in the mirror. Stare into your eyes for a full 3 minutes. You can set a timer on your phone, or if you have an egg timer, you can use that, and just stare into your eyes and see what you see. Notice the different colors that are in your eyes. They may be brown or gray or green, but you're going to notice different colors that are going on within the iris. And it's just really look at and see. Notice and observe whatever thoughts come up in your mind. Don't judge them. Don't try to take them anywhere. Just notice what comes up in your mind. And it's going to give you an amazing baseline of learning to send that love to yourself. When the timer goes off, say, I love you to yourself while you're looking in your eyes. And you're going to start developing that closer connection with yourself. It's just amazing when you learn to love the skin you're in, because it's uniquely who you are. Absolutely. All of the things that have happened in your life, emotionally, mentally, physically, all of those things are carving out, creating who you are. And the best part of it is you can choose to be who you want to be. You don't have to be defined by anybody else's rules, thoughts, expectations. You can choose who you want to be. It's your life, your world. Forget about what other people say you should be, and write the rule book for yourself. That's going to really help you with learning to like yourself. Next time we're going to talk about the realistic expectations.
That's right.
And then focusing on the positive and how that can magnify within you.
Yay.
I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you are really working with the steps of this confidence series, because I would love to see each and every single one of you living a happy, fulfilled life where you love who you are and you're proud of who you are and you feel you can say it.
Absolutely. It'd be nice to have everybody could.
It would, yeah. So if you found this video useful, please share it out with your friends and family. Hit the like button or the love button. And as always, we always enjoy your feedback here at Earth and Sky Center. Thank you so much. Have a great week.